Hey, how's it going, everyone? Just back in with another lesson on Mark 10:35 to 44. So I was just inspired to do this, going back and forth with Bible Defender 144. His channel is called Tribe of Judah, and just to pass the time, but to cover my favorite topic of the two witnesses, okay, which is the cornerstone of my channel and the foundation of my teaching. My eschatological framework and sequence. And I would say ultimately at this point, the most valuable piece of information that I've ever received, and that I share, because I believe it came from the Most High. And that's to be determined, if that is the case, if it happens, in my lifetime. But it's incredible, and so that the two witnesses in Revelation 11 are the two men in Acts 1:10 to 11. And they're also referenced here in Mark 10:35 to 44. And so I want people to understand the disciples were learning things, but they're very scholarly, of course. Like they understand, the Old Testament, and like that there is an end times, and then there is Christ's second coming. And then they've read the book of Zechariah, and, they were scholarly, and then they were around the word of God, walking in the flesh, Christ. So they're aware of what the prophets have written, and then that there is going to be, the fulfillment of all those things that were written in Zechariah, Zephaniah, Daniel, and all that kind of stuff. So they're aware of certain things, but they're learning, as they go. And even the topic of reincarnation, they're learning, as they go, because there was a moment where they realized that Christ was talking about John the Baptist when he was referring to Elijah has already come, and prepared the way, and he was dealt with treacherously and killed. And so they're figuring things out, in their mind, and they have questions, and then they have requests as well, and one of them is documented here in Mark 10:35 to 44. So it's amazing, and then again, this is just proof that not only is Christ going to return, like I'm going to read in Luke 21:27, but he's going to return with two men, two witnesses, and those two men are Moses and Elijah. And the disciples were very, very aware of the fact that there are two exalted seats at Christ's left and right hand, literal seats, and a place of power. And they're slick, in this request that Mark, that's documented in Mark 10:35 to 44. And James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came unto him, saying, Master, we would that thou shouldest do for us whatsoever we shall desire. So even before they ask the question, they're like, are you going to do it for us? This is how slick they are. And so they're human, just like us. Mark 10:36, and he said unto them, what would ye that I should do for you? Verse 37, they said unto him, grant us that we may sit one on thy right hand and the other on thy left hand in thy glory. Okay, that's a key reference. In thy glory. First, it's a seat. Okay, there's only two spots. Okay, it's not two nations, a bunch of rappers and retards that we have right now claiming that they're the two witnesses. Luke 21:27. Understand, I want people to understand the numerology is absolutely amazing. Luke 21:27. You add 21, you get 3. Okay, you add 27, you get 9. You get 39. 999, 666. You rotate it, 666. Okay, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud, massive UFO, with power and great glory. Okay. And so just know that 666 oftentimes, not always, or 999 if you rotate it, or 33 reference Christ's second coming. Okay. And that's the same here in Luke 21:27. And so when Christ returns, he's going to be returning in glory. Okay. And so in Mark 10:37, they're asking to be at his left and right when they return, when he returns in glory. Okay. Verse 37, I'll read again. They said unto him, grant us that we may sit one on thy right hand and the other on thy left in thy glory. Okay, and so they're very aware of these UFOs. Okay, they're the ye men of Galilee. They literally saw Christ being taken away in a UFO. So they know that those are the vehicles, that Christ moves around in and gets quote unquote picked up by the two witnesses. Okay, by Moses and Elijah. And so they're very aware of that. Okay, that those UFOs and those chariots, are God's vehicles, and they're very aware of the prophets in the past stating that Christ will return, and then he's going to return with these two olive trees and distributing the golden oil out of their pipes. Okay, which is a coded reference for the two witnesses being brought here. So they're aware of that, okay, and then they're learning certain things too as they go along. But here he tells them indirectly, okay, we know now, because we understand the volume of the book, we see the whole thing, and then we see the end of it playing out. But he describes or tells them that it's those two seats are taken already, okay, and it's not anybody in front of them, because he would have said that, because he wouldn't lie. And so it's the point of this lesson is that we know now who it is. It's Moses and Elijah. And so that's amazing. Verse 38, then Jesus said unto them, ye know not what ye ask. Can you drink of the cup that I drink of, and be baptized with the baptism that I'm baptized with? So they don't understand what they're asking for, okay, because they don't understand that if you are on Christ's left and right hand when he returns in glory, like I read in Luke 21:27, you're going to have to go through a time of 1,260 days where the entire earth is going to be against you, okay, and the most evil time where the entire earth is going to gang up on those two people, okay, Moses and Elijah. Read Revelation 11 and Revelation 16, the plagues are administering. So if they knew that, they may not ask that, okay? And so that's why he says, ye know not what ye ask. They're not coming back and those two are going to be dwelling in safety all the time. No, they're going to be brought here onto earth, okay? And they're going to be quote unquote alone. Of course, they have a tremendous amount of power, but they're going to die, okay? They're going to die at the hands of the entire earth being irritated by them, okay, to put it lightly. And so he's like, you don't even know what you're asking. And ye know not what ye ask. Can you drink of the cup that I drink of? Because their ministry in the last days is going to model Christ's ministry. 3.5 years, 1,260 days, and then die at the end, and then be raised up again, okay, after 3.5 days. So it's very similar to Christ's ministry on earth, okay, during his time. And so he's like, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. So he's like, what I'm going through now, is that what you want? Because it's going to happen, okay, to the two witnesses. Verse 39, they said unto him, we can. And Jesus said unto them, ye shall indeed drink of the cup that I drink of, and with the baptism that I'm baptized with shall you be baptized. So he's like, you are going to suffer, the way that I'm about to. And so that aspect he says is true. So he says their question is not completely outlandish because they're willing to suffer. Okay, no doubt. Verse 40, but to sit on my right hand and on my left hand is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared. And so it's already been predetermined. This is now, he's educating them. So he doesn't say there are no two spots. What are you talking about? Or whatever. Like, no, there's like thousands of seats, or it's the two nations, or whatever these dummies talk about. He's saying very, very clearly here that there are indeed two seats, okay? But they're filled already. Verse 41, and when the 10 heard it, they began to be much displeased with James and John. Verse 42, but Jesus called them to him and saith unto him, ye know that they which are accounted to rule over the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, and their great ones exercise authority upon them. And so just so people know, in this sequence, this Mark 10 follows the sequence. I've done another video on that, but just know that, okay? It's foreshadowing the last days perfectly. Verse 43, but so shall it not be among you, but whosoever will be great among you shall be your minister. Verse 44, and whosoever of you will be the chiefest shall be servant of all. Okay, that's in verse 44, talking about the mindset of God's elect, okay? That they're going to be most inclined to serve, okay? And so Christ is telling us here and reminding us that there are indeed two seats, okay? And they're reserved for two men when he returns in glory, okay, like I read in Luke 21:27. And then if you look in the totality of the book, we know that it's Moses and Elijah, okay? Because it's the same two men from the beginning to the end, literally. He's not going to change it. It's the same, in Sodom, the same that destroyed Sodom, the same that were there at the Transfiguration, the same that were there when, he was taken away, okay, in Acts. And it's the same, in Revelation 11, okay? And so when Christ does return, like I read in Luke 21:27, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. He's going to be accompanied by Moses and Elijah, okay, who are the two witnesses in Revelation 11. Hope everyone's doing well. Bye.